Very good morning to you all.
Good morning, teacher.
Still, we are still discussing the use of Surds and irrational numbers. I don't know whether people landed on some interesting numbers that challenged them. There's one person who inboxed me a number. I don't know if she's here or is here.
Good morning, teacher.
Yeah, good morning. The person who inboxed me a number, can you send me that number again? I show you how to do it. I don't know whether you came out with an answer, but if you did, please text me the number again. Still, we are on Surds. And they can give you a question like, for example, given root of 2 is 1.414 carry, and root of 3 is equal to 1.732 carry. I can ask you to evaluate correct to 3 decimal significant figures. I can ask you to evaluate 1, root of 648. 2, root of 512. 3, 1 over root of 3 minus root of 2. 4, root of 1 out of 2 minus root of 1 out of 8. 5, root of 0.0675. So you can be asked to evaluate the following. Okay? So with that regard, they have already given you what root 3 and root 2 are equal to. So the first one is root of 648. So the root of 648 can be got from what? From the square root of 3 times 216. Now, whenever they give you such variables, divide with a calculator to investigate which one of them can divide effectively and go through 648. For example, you had to divide 648 by 3 to investigate, or 648 by 2 and see what you come up with. Now, if you divide, you'll get root 3 and root of 216. Divide 216 by 3, you'll get 72. Or if you investigate it by 2, you'll get root 3 times another root 3 times root of 72. 72 comes from 36 times what? 36 times 2. Or it comes from 24 times 3. So it's another root 3 times root 3 times another root 3 times root of 24. Because this 24 and this 3 gives you 72. Then the 24 comes from where? The 24 comes from 3 times 8. So this is the same as root of 3 times root of 3 times root of 3 times another root of 3 times root of 8. But 8 comes from, so this will give me root 3 times root 3 times root 3 times root 3 times root of 2 times root of 2 times root of 2 for the 8. So when you look at the whole of this, you have 1, 2, 3, 4 root 3s. You have 1, 2, 3 root 2s. So you have root 3 power 4 times root 2 power 3. This will give me root 3 is 1.732 power 4 times root 2, which is 1.414 power 3. You can now compute this and get the answer. So can we now press our calculators and get that answer?
Eight point 998 times 2.827.
8 point?
998.
Are you sure? 8.99?
998 times 2.827.
Times 2 point?
827.
Okay, 827. Okay. Now when you compute, what you get?
$25.437.
Now the question said write to 3 significant figures. The first significant figure is 2. 5 is also significant. 4 is also significant. So the answer becomes 25.4. This is 3 significant figures. So that was question 1. Now come to question 2, which is root of 512. Divide 512 by 3 or by 2. What do you first try by the bigger factor, by 3? What do you get? You get 1. You get 1 what? Hey, actually this was not 5, it was 5.12. That's 5.12. Now you first express this in this form for convenience. 5.12 divided by 1. I can multiply it by 100 up, by 100 down, so that I can realize square root of 512 out of 100. This will give us root of 512 out of root of 100. Which root of 100 we all know is 10. Now, can we first deal with the root of 512? 512 divided by 2, you'll get root 2. Okay, you get root 2 times, because they are twice.
256.
256. 256 comes from 16 times 16. So this is the same as root 2 times root of 16 times root of 16. Remember, we have to reduce it as far as root of 2. So this is going to be root of 2 times root of 2 to the power what? Power 4 times root of 2 power another 4. So if I want to get root of 5.12, it will be got from root of 2 times 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 root of 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times root of 2. 9. All is over root of 100. This actually totals up to root of 2 power 9. Even if you had not used this and you just say this is root of 2 power what? 9 over 10. So this will give me root of 2 as what? It was 1.414. Power 9 divided by 10. What answer do we get? But of course, if someone wants to express this, 2.26. 2.26. 1, 2, 3 significant figures. Or another person could go further and say, this is the root of 2 power 9. Or is over root of 25 times root of 4, which gives us root of 2 power 9 divided by root of 25, which is 5, times root of 2 times root of 2. Then one can reduce this root of 2's by what? By 7. Give us root of 2 to the power 7, all is over 5. You'd still get the same answer. Check it out and see. I took. Is it the same?
Yes.
Okay. Screenshot that, we go to the next number. This one has the whole of this as the root. For this one, the third one is obvious. 1 over 1.732 minus 1.414. You compute, you get the answer. Then this one, number 4, is 1 over root 2 minus 1 all over root 2 times root 2 times root 2. That one also you'll handle. So allow me to do this last one. Because today I want to finalize with Surds, so that next week we can introduce logarithms. Now for this one, the idea is the same as the previous number, whereby you have to put it in a form which is easily handled like a whole number. Whereby if you have root of 0.0675, this is going to be the same as square root of 0.0675 divided by 10,000 multiplied by 10,000 up, so that you remove the decimals. So this will realize 675 out of 10,000. under the square root. And this is the same as root of 675, or is over square root of 10,000. Of course, this is over 100. Then you have only up, which is root of 675. So therefore, can you divide 675 by 3? The biggest factor. What do you get?
225.
The square root of 3 times square root of 225. But remember, 225 comes from 15 times 15, which means you'll have root of 3 times root of 15 times root of 15. All is divided by 100. Then this will take us to root of 3 times root of 3 times root of 5 times root of 3 times root of 5. Then you divide the whole of this by 100. You realize that you have come to root of 3 times root of 3 times root of 3 times root of 5 times root of 5. All divided by 100. So this will give us root of 3 times 5 divided by 100. And with this, we shall realize root of 3 is actually what? Cubed. So root of 3, remember, is 1.732 cubed times 5 divided by 100. What answer do we get?
Zero point 260.
0.260. Now, these significant figures, the 0 in front here is significant. Yeah? Then we have 1, 2. Actually, no, this 0 is not significant, the first one. So if it's not significant, it becomes significant after it has moved to a decimal place. So we shall have 2 and 6 and then 0. So the answer is 0.260 as it is significant what? Okay, so that is the Chigularuji for today. Last definition I want us to look at. That is finding the square roots. Finding the square roots of surds of the form a plus or minus root of b. And in this case, the first note we are going to have is this one. The square root of an irrational number is also irrational. So the square root of an irrational number is also what? Irrational, whereby it means that if you want to get the square root of a plus maybe root of b. This is the same as plus or minus root of x plus y. If I want to find the square root of a minus a rational number b, it's going to be plus or minus root of x minus root of y. Now we have come to advanced mathematics. We are still joking with O-level mathematics. So those are the key definitions in this area. Find the square root of 5 plus 2 root of 6. Ideally, you're being asked to find the root of 5 plus 2 root of 6, which you can net that square root to be plus or minus root of x plus root of y. Then when you let it be in that form, you have to remove the square root on this side. By doing what? By squaring on both sides. When we square both sides, we shall realize the square root will vanish on the left-hand side, plus 2 root of 6. This will give us the square on the other hand, which is going to be root of x squared plus 2 root of x root of y plus root of y squared. The same expansion for a plus b squared. You get a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. So this will give us 5 plus 2 root of 6 is going to be equal to x plus 2 root of xy plus y. Now, you will have 5 plus 2 root of 6 is going to give us x plus y as a factor plus 2 root of xy. Now, treat them in this form. Because you can see that the coefficient on 2 is root 6, while on the other side, the coefficient on 2 is root of xy. It means root of xy is supposed to be equal to root of 6. When you square both sides, xy is 6, and this gives you equation 1. Whereas this other one, without a square root, is x plus y is equal to 5. Okay? So if x plus y is equal to 5, you can also have this down. So, for that reason, we shall have to solve simultaneously these two equations by saying xy is 6. It can be written as x is equal to 6 over y. When you substitute, you have 6 over y plus y is 5a, and this will take me to 6 plus y squared is equal to 5y, whereby y squared minus 5y plus 6 is equal to 0. So therefore, you solve the quadratic, and you have y1 and y2 are equal to 5 plus or minus square root of 25 minus 4 times 6 times 1, all is over 2 times 1. Put in a calculator and give me the answer. This is the same as 5 plus or minus 1 over 2. So y1 is equal to 3. y2 is equal to 2. Meaning x1 will be 6 divided by 3 is 2. Then x2 will be 6 divided by 2 is 3. And those will be our answers. So the possible solutions are those ones. So when they say find the square root, the answer is going to be what? You'll have to write down the answer like this. Root of 5 plus 2 root of 6 is going to be plus or minus root of x is 2 plus root of y, which is 3. The other possibility is root of 5 plus 2 root of 6 can be plus or minus root of 3 plus root of 2. When you look at these two solutions, they are the same. So it's the same as one writing it like this. Because those are 4 possible solutions. They are 4 because of the plus or minus. So one can say root of 5 plus 2 root of 6 is equal to plus or minus root of 2 plus root of 3, and then one can say repeated. When they are repeated, it makes it 4. Hence, our solution.
Teacher, please pardon from where are the red pen started because I'm really lost.
Where?
The red pen is.
From the red pen, we compare the coefficients. I looked at a coefficient which has a surd and a coefficient without a surd. The 5 never had a surd. The 5 is supposed to be equal to whatever has no surd, which is x plus y. That's why I introduced this bracket to be equivalent to 5. Then this one with the coefficient 2 was supposed to be equated to the one with the coefficient of 2, and thus whatever is inside the root is equal to what is inside the root on the left-hand side. That's how I came up with xy is 6. Okay? Then the rest is algebra. By making x the subject, I realized 6 over y. I substituted it here. I came up with this. I designed a quadratic equation in y. And with that quadratic equation in y, we have managed to go ahead and find the values of y and x. But unfortunately, when you find them, you will see that the values of x and y alternate. And in the way of addition, because addition and subtraction are commutative, if I add root 2 to root 3, it is the same as adding root 3 to root 2. That's why I'm saying those terms are the same. Okay? Any questions there? If I can go to another example. So if you've taken the screenshot, another example says, find the square root. Find the square root of find the square root of 3 minus 2 root of 2. 3 minus 2 root of 2. Now, we saw that for the roots, for the subtraction, we have root of A minus root of B, for example, which is going to be equal to plus or minus root of X minus root of Y. So in our regard, we are finding the square root of 3 minus 2 root of 2 is equal to plus or minus root of, say, assumed X minus root of assumed Y. Now, to remove the square root on both, on the left-hand side, we square both sides, which will give us 3 minus 2 root 2. The whole of this under the root has been squared. And this will give us root of X squared minus 2 root of X root of Y plus root of Y, the whole of it what? Squared. It is coming from the expansion of A minus B squared. When you expand A minus B squared, you will get A squared minus 2AB plus B squared. Therefore, this will realize 3 minus twice root of 2 is going to be equal to X minus 2 root of XY plus Y, meaning 3 minus 2 root of 2 is equal to X plus Y minus 2 root of XY. So the coefficients, 3 has no root, these ones also have no root, so I equate 3 to X plus Y by comparison. Then the one which is irrational is 2 is equal to the irrational number XY on the other side, so XY is equal to 2, equation 2. Whereby X, let me use Y this time round, Y is 2 over X. When you substitute, you have 3 is equal to X plus 2 over X. On expansion and simplifying, this shall realize 3X is equal to X squared plus 2. Therefore, X squared minus 3X plus 2 is equal to 0. And with that note, we can get the values. Two numbers multiplied by, you get 2 added, you get negative 3. X squared minus 2X minus X plus 2 is 0. If I use factorization method, I will have the following. I'll definitely get X minus 1, X minus 2 is 0. If the values are obvious like this, use a calculator and then write the factors like I've written them lastly down here. We shall have known that you've used factorization method. Therefore, X is 1 and X is 2. So if X is 1, the first root of 3 minus 2 root 2 will give me, the corresponding Y values. Y will be, when X is 1, Y will be 2. When X is 2, Y will be 1. So we shall have plus or minus root of X, which is 1, minus root of Y, which is 2. Then the second term is 3 minus 2 root 2. It's going to give me plus or minus, open brackets, root of 2 minus root of 1. This one is not the same as the previous number. This one is slightly different because the terms are not the what? They are not the same. So this was root of 1. So this is root of 2 minus root of 1. Root of 2 minus root of 1 is a positive. Root of 1 minus root of 2 is a negative. But the other one was addition, so everything was the same. Oh, guys, you asked a question on some previous work. It is always better you unmute and ask me. When you type in a chat, sometimes I'm hiding the chat away because I need space to be clearly seen by the screen. So it's better you unmute and ask your question. That's how fast I can answer. But I don't know whether later you got how the root 16 came about before. So those are our answers. The following are going to be your assignments. Actually, you try them now. We are going to have find the square root of 1a, 7 plus 4 root 3, b, 4 plus 6 root 3, c, 14 minus 6 root 5, d, 16 minus 4 root 3. I want to mark let me mark A. So you have 5 minutes to try out A. Whoever finishes, you WhatsApp me the answer for A, so that I mark it before we can close. Otherwise, the topic of Surds is over, and rationalization. Any other concerns that come, and some of these topics like this one, so any other numbers you find, they should be up to, they can go up to your neighbor. Yes, someone says excuse.
Teacher, I'm kindly requesting you to repeat for me because I didn't understand this number. This from okay, somehow from the beginning.
This number.
Okay, where we started. Yes.
Did you get these definitions? Those are the definitions, teacher, for roots. Now the number depends. If it has a plus here, you use a plus there. If it has a minus here, you use a minus there. So the first number had a plus, which was this one. And we are finding its square root. So the square root of that number is the same as putting a root on top of it. That's how this came about. But we let that square root be in the form of the definition. That's why we equated it to this one. Then we square both sides. When you square both sides, the plus or minus, of course, becomes a positive. When you square the bracket, you are expanding root x plus root y, which is coming from this expansion. The rest, as you're trying out the other numbers. So when you expand, you'll get root of x squared plus 2 root of x times root of y plus root of y squared. And with that regard, when you simplify root of x squared, you get x. Root of xy, you get y. And then you can compare coefficients. There is a constant of 5. It is supposed to be equal to the constants we have there without the surd. There is a rational number, which is root 6, supposed to be equal to root of x. And with that regard, root of xy is equal to root of 6. When you square both sides, to remove the square root, you come up with 6 and xy. Then you made x the subject, which is 6 over y, and we substituted it here. And we designed a quadratic equation, which we solved using the bulldozer method. And we got values of y1 and y2. Then we substituted them back here to get their corresponding x values, x1 and x2. So our answers, you substitute in this relationship, which you saw earlier, and then you conclude the answers. And those answers are 4. Reason being, you got 2 values of y and 2 values of x. Why are they 4? Because there is a plus or minus. A plus or minus means 2 answers. Now, when they appear twice, this was appearing once, this is twice. But with another trace of plus or minus. plus or minus. That is why I said if I can write it like this, plus or minus the answer, repeated, it is the same. But if it's subtraction, it cannot be the same. Because subtraction, those values are different. When you subtract 1 minus 2, it's not the same as 2 minus 1. But for addition, when you add 1 plus 2 and 2 plus 1, they are commutative, you get the same answer, which is 3. So the same was applied on the second number. So it was having subtraction. We are finding the square root of the whole of this one, which I introduced the root from here, which I assumed I had to let the square root of this be equal to that. You should write the word let because this one is not known in the question. So you let. Then, hey, this person is coming now. When you expand by squaring on both sides, it arrives at that. Still, you compare coefficients of the constant and coefficients of the rational number. And with that, you can make xy be equal to 2 and x plus y be equal to 3. Then you make y the subject, give us 2 over x. And when you substitute it here, you arrive at this, and then you design a quadratic equation, which you can simplify. And then still you get the same answers. So I'm waiting for number A. The person was, is that better?
Yes, teacher. Thank you, teacher.
Welcome. So have that A, as I also have brief. Whoever finishes, inbox the number on WhatsApp to my line. One person has sent in the work. You let b equal to, you don't let it be equal to root of x plus root of y. You let it be equal to root of x plus root of y plus or minus. So when you square method 1, you square both sides, you arrive at is minus 1. X plus y is 7, correct. 3 is equal to xy. Why is it so faint? No, this one is not okay. This was supposed to be something else. I think this brought a problem. So it makes every other equations wrong. So this is a wrong quadratic. So this person stops earning here. Okay. So please repeat the number. Someone else? And then don't rush. Okay, there's another solution. Let me check it out. The same problem is here. Okay, method 1. This is not necessary because you have squared. When you square a positive, you get a positive. When you square a negative, you get a positive. So when you square plus or minus, you get a positive. So you don't need to write plus or minus again. So this makes the whole of the working wrong. So presentation here is a problem. Guys, present systematically in a way that as you present, you mind about what the teacher did. I was introducing brackets all over to guide us. I was introducing brackets. So remove this, then do the comparison. But still it's brought to 6, which is wrong. There's a concern of the 6. It's making, oh, now I know why. I know why you're getting problems. Yeah, but you did it correctly here. When you're squaring to remove this, you are getting a wrong answer here. Okay. Can I have the rest? Repeat the number, please. Wrong presentation somewhere there and wrong computation has occurred. Yes, my friend who did the correction, she has got the number right, the first person. But present it on a better page. I'm waiting for one person at least to pass the number. Oh, not to pass, one more person to mark because time is up. Shakir has just come. This person who has presented this work, let me comment on your work so that people don't make the same errors. The reason why I'm commenting it in general like this, so that everyone you see and you don't make the same errors. When you expand this, you get this. Please put this in brackets. Yes, x plus y is 7, correct. xy is 3, wrong. This is where the problem is. So if that is a problem, there is nothing that is correct down this way. Check that problem and iron it out. One more person. Okay. No other replies. The rest, I think you've not tried out numbers, have you?
Okay, teacher, we are getting lost from that point of coefficients. Eh? How make that other part?
How do you make what?
Apart with Surds, how do we go about it? Because it's really confusing.
How do we go about? Okay, I think this one has done the correction and she has presented it correctly. The problem which is mixing you is this part of the 2xy, this one. This one is correct. She has got everything. So the problem is now here. This is where people have been getting wrong here. That they have been having 2 root of xy is supposed to be equal to 4 root of 3. When you divide it by 2, you divide it by 2, you would realize this becomes what? 2. So root of xy is actually equal to 2 root of 3. Then when you square both sides, xy is going to be 4 times 3. Xy is 12. That's where all of you got problems. Have you seen that? When you square it here. We got everything and came to that. So that's where the challenge has been. So check your problem, check your errors, see from this lady's presentation, take a screenshot, analyze and see how you've come up with those answers. Then the rest, try them out. And also another way you can confirm whether you're doing the right thing, get the answers, substitute them back, compute with the calculator and see, is it the same answer from the left-hand side? If yes, you're on the right track. If not, you have failed. Okay, with that, it marks the end of Surds. Those of us who came in very late, we are sorry. People said I'm overwaiting for people in most cases. So whenever the lesson now clocks, I start. So we started with the 2 people. So that means no more waiting. People are there. If I'm there and someone is there, I get started. Otherwise, parents were complaining, our data, teacher takes so long. Though yesterday I had technical issues. It takes so long to start. So since I take so long to start, your parents are the ones who complained about it, that their data is running. Please make sure you are always available. So the moment clocks 9, I should be able to start. Whether you are 1, as long as there is a student, I'll start. Okay. Okay, with that, you can have a wonderful day and a nice week for mathematics. We meet in physics in the afternoon. God willing.